51.
That's
They struck down community-based reservation. Champakam Durai Rajan.
Miller, there's a reason why I'm making this submission, Miller, for your lordships to consider, Miller, and that is, there is a symbiotic relationship between 15 and 16. You reach 16 only when you are empowered under 15. If you're not educated, you can't get employment. It's simple as that.
For a member of parliament, there is no
I'm talking about in the larger context, Malas. We're talking about 21st century, Malas. We're talking about the 21st century, Malas. Of course, some of them can.
The same
some of
14, 15, 16.
Some of us can hold the highest positions in the country without being. So that's another matter, Malas. We some of us, Malas, have reached corporations, Malas, and to manage corporations without necessarily being fully educated. That's not the point. The point is, Malas, there is a when you're talking about this section of society, there's a symbiotic relationship.
So we must recognize that the Constitution is not prescribing qualifications such as property, education, gender. This was an article of faith.
Yes.
And it was a very visionary provision, because ours was one of the first constitutions which did not make your right to contest an election or to hold electoral office conditional on.
I agree entirely.
Conditional on gender or property or your educational qualification.
I'm with you on that. I'm arguing something different. What I'm saying is, if this class of people that you call a class, if you don't empower them under 15, you're not going to get representation under 16.
So in that sense, 15, as you said, they share a symbiotic relationship, because unless you create the foundation for employment,
right,
you not get employment. You need a qualified workforce to be.
It's only in that
limited workforce in the first place.
It's in that limited sense that I'm talking about this. That's all. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. Now, if you look at 16.4 now in this context, it doesn't also talk about scheduled caste, scheduled tribes. But if you go to 16.4a, it talks of scheduled caste, scheduled tribes.
The judgment of this.
That's right. So if you are not included in 16.4, how do you get reservation and promotions? 16.4 has to include scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, because they are backward. They come within the genus of backwardness. So 16.4 is an answer, 4a is an answer that 16.4 includes. In the volume 4a, Malas, that I have uploaded, 4c. Yes. Just see, Malas, I've given to your lordships in volume 4c, page 13. There are various acts that have been passed, which is why 341 and 15.4 allows for advancement through various legislative or executive measures.
The reservation could be one of them.
Yes, reservation is one of them. And it's integral. I'm not saying
the universe is much wider.
Much wider. So therefore, I've given some of the... You have the Karnataka Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribe Prohibition of Transfer of Certain Lands Amendment Act. You have Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribe Prevention of Atrocities Act. There are all kinds of... You have the Protection of Civil Rights Act of 1955, all kinds. So, Malas, therefore, I just wanted to, and Malas, when we look at reservations, this will never end. This is an unending exercise that we are going through as a nation. The reason is very simple, Malas, that unless 15.4, unless you advance under 15.4, you'll not go to 16.4. So if you look at Malas Punjab, and I'm not going to the numericals of it, but the fact of the matter is that the total population of these is about 280,000. Government posts is 280,000. approximately. I'm just giving your lordships.
Of Mazhabi Sikhs.
No, total government posts. The Mazhabi Sikhs and Dalits are about 32 lakhs. Total number of posts are 2,80,000. Out of that, Malaj, 25,000 goes to schedule. 25% goes to these classes, backward classes. Of the 25%, 50% comes to Mazhabi and Dalits.
Mazhabi and Valmiki.
And Valmikis. 50% come to Valmikis. And I am told, Manas, how many seats have been actually? Total. Most of them are not occupied even.
And it's preferential, so it goes to anybody else.
Yes,
then.
and it
You
will
carry
go to
forward.
anybody else. Most of them are not even occupied. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? And that's very important. I want your lordships to actually mention it.
That posts are not unoccupied.
Well, they will give you the data. Actually, I've asked the state.
Yeah, maybe there is no adequate representation insofar as Mazhabi Sikhs and Valmikis are concerned.
No, the others also. In fact, I've got some data, but I've asked the state, they'll give you the data. I've asked by this evening, we'll get that data.
Therefore, your point that unless there is educational advancement under 15 and social advancement,
That's right.
16 remains teasing.
Dead letter. There'll be cases after cases on the same issue for times to come. And if you can have Kasturba Gandhi schools for girls, why can't you have schools for Mazhabi Sikhs or these communities? Not just for everybody. That's the way forward for the nation. You don't empower them, and then you keep on fighting that there are not enough people in promotion.
All right, yes, Mr.
Well, therefore, I beseech your lordships, but this is an area your lordships should say something.
All right, anything further, Mr. Sibal, now?
Yes. Now, Malaj, just my written submissions, then I've done, Malaj, because I don't want to take volume 1B. Yes, your lordships will see that para 54, it's
PDF?
PDF
Page 27.
27. Running page 26. Malaj, it says A, Malaj, small paragraph A, a study of Punjab caste done in 1883 found Mazhabis belonged to the Chura caste and were primarily scavengers and sweepers. As per the report of the Evaluation Committee on Welfare regarding welfare of SC so-and-so, for the period commencing 15th August 47, dated 65 to 66, Mazhabis had a total population of 664,000, while Valmikis had a total population of so-and-so. Said report also found the social conditions of scavengers were awfully deplorable. They didn't even have proper access to utensils, let alone housing. They had meager income, were forced to do scavenging despite working from dawn to dusk. The report also noted that educationally they were extremely backward, even more. The literacy rate is around 41%, Manoj. So Manoj, all I request your lordships is read through this, please, because I don't want to waste your time. This will tell you the situation that we are in. And I'm deeply obliged. I didn't want to repeat anything.
Thank you, Mr. Sibal. Thank you.
What?
Mr. Silsler?
I'll take only 10.
We'll hear the
Mr.
solicitor so that.
No, Mr. Venugopal was on screen.
So Mr. Venugopal should argue
No,
first.
I'm sorry. He's on screen, he was supposed to go next, but he has said, there's been a bereavement in my family. So he has said that I could go before him. Both him and Mr. Nidesh Gupta have been kind enough to say that. I just wanted to inform you.
Certainly, you have to leave the
Because you
court.
have an order, that's why I want.
Certainly.
Malaj, just one issue, Malaj. Indira Sani, paragraph, note it, Malaj, please. PDF 689, paragraph 778.
Just one second.
Yes.
Volume?
Volume 5, PDFK 689, paragraph 778. They explain as to why in 16.4 the word class is used and not caste. They explain. I just read it. Indeed, there is a very good reason why the Constitution could not have used the expression caste or caste in 16.4, and why the word class was the natural choice in the context. The Constitution was meant for the entire country and for all time to come. Non-Hindu religions like Islam, Christianity, and Sikh did not recognize caste as such, though, as pointed out herein above, caste did exist even among those religions on various degrees. Further, a constitution is supposed to be a permanent document expected to last several centuries. It must surely have been envisaged that in future many classes may spring up answering the test of backwardness, requiring the protection of 16.4. It therefore follows that from the use of the word class in 16.4, it cannot be concluded anything else? Leave it. So therefore, the judges say the word class in 64, in our opinion, is used in the sense of social class and not in the sense.
We'll have a look
It's
at it.
antithetical.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm deeply.
Mr. Shankar.
No, we can't. There's others have to also argue.
Solicitor wanted to address your lordship. I think he has.
Mr. Attorney, Mr. Shankar, there's been a bereavement in his family, so he has to leave. So can we hear him for 10 minutes or so, and then we will,
He didn't request me for that. Of course he can.
Well, may I be
Of
excused?
course he can.
May I please, ma'am? May I just start with expressing my gratitude to all the seniors who should have gone before me, who have been kind enough to let me go before them. I'll just keep it very brief. There are just 4 points that I want to make. If your lordship would be kind enough to have volume 4B, B for Bombay.
what is the first point that you would make? So then we'll take it.
I'll address the 4 points. The 4 points are these. First, that in identifying the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, a bit of a historical context is necessary, because eventually we're talking about how you will classify within these groups for the purpose of giving them measures. So the historical context will broadly show you how they first come to be identified. Why are they forever called scheduled castes? Where does that schedule come from? It comes from the Government of India Act 1935, and there's a background behind it. It starts with the census in 1891. I'll briefly touch upon that. All of that is in volume 4B. The second,